2025 NBA MVP race is quite close. I mean, just like the historic seasons that have been going on this year are absolutely crazy. If it was any other year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic would no doubt, almost unanimously, be the MVP. But this year, it's just so close. So first, I just want to mention that shout out to Giannis. Giannis is having a great season. 30 points a game, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 60% from the field. But everyone knows that Giannis isn't going to win it. He's having a great season. Bucks aren't that good. And Shai and Jokic are they're just on a different level. But this race between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic is just crazy. Let's talk about Shai first, who I think right now, from what I've seen from most of the NBA rankings, is the leading favorite, and for Vegas right now is the leading favorite. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, this guy is just a bucket. He can get that mid-range jump shot whenever he wants. His three-point shot has been way better this season, almost averaging 37% from three now. And how crafty he is around the rim, how shifty he is. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is probably right now, I would say, the best scorer in the league. Maybe that's a hot take, comment down below if you think that's a hot take, but right now, the ability to get a bucket, old classic style, Michael Jordan style, getting a bucket in the mid-range, driving it in, being shifty, kicking out to the open shooter, hitting that little jab three that he always spams but always goes in, like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, especially in those clutch moments, I mean, he's had over 40 for, like, multiple games, over 50 multiple games. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scoring bucket. He's also a good defender. He's a 6'6" wing. He's known before for more of his defense than his offense. He's just polished his offensive side of the game, but Shai has just been absolutely incredible. Even looking at a lot of these advanced stats that Nikola Jokic normally wins in, Shai is up there with Jokic on these advanced stats. And yes, advanced stats isn't everything, but it is still a good metric to look at to see how great of a season he's having. Shai is he's also efficient. He's shooting over 50% from the field as a guard with some of the most tough coverage in the entire league. Shai is still going to give you a bucket. And then also, a main thing about the MVP race is this idea of the best player on the best team. That's what normally happens. On the best team, think about Jokic a couple years ago, think about Giannis. Normally, if you have the best player, especially with the dominance that the Thunder have been doing, they're 63-12 right now. That's like a top 5 record in modern NBA history. Like, that is no joke, and Shai is the reason why they're that good. And just, if we can't, like, just this whole criteria, yes, the criteria for the MVP race constantly changes. Yes, they say, oh, it's the most valuable player, best player in the league, but we all know it's not actually that, right? But Shai has also that narrative. He was second in MVP last year. He is this rising star in this small franchise OKC that kind of this rags to riches. Shai wasn't, yes, for the Clippers, he showed those little spurts. With the Thunder, he was like a 20 point per game scorer, but he slowly worked himself, improved his game to be this 33 point per game scorer now. Shai has the story. Shai has the stats. But when you look at the season Nikola Jokic is having, it's definitely at least a top 5 season, probably in NBA history. An almost 30-point triple-double as a center. He's top 3 in the league in points, rebounds, and assists. You know how insane that is? Like, when does that happen? We've grown so accustomed to these numbers that Jokic puts up that we start to forget just how insane these numbers are. Like, no one puts up 30, 20, and 20 in a game. But Nikola Jokic is doing it, and people are just batting an eye. People aren't realizing just how insane these numbers Nikola Jokic has been putting up. And also, like, the Nuggets are still the 3rd seed. They're 47-28. And when you look at the roster, it's not as good as that championship team. KCP is gone. All these role players are gone. Jamal Murray has been really inconsistent. Michael Porter Jr., yeah, he's been pretty good. But still, compared to the Thunder team, and compared to this team with Jokic off and on, like, there's a statistic going around that when Nikola Jokic is not on the floor, doesn't play, the Nuggets are literally the worst team in the NBA. worse than the Wizards, worse than the Hornets. They're literally the worst team in the league. But when Jokic plays, they're literally a legit championship contender. One player swings his team so much, and that can't be understated. Without Jokic, if we look at most valuable player, that's what the award is, right? Literally, if Jokic was not on the Nuggets, they would be tanking for Cooper Flag right now. But you know where they are right now? They're the 3rd seed and a legit title contenders. You know why? Due to one man who loves his horses, Nikola Jokic. And that can't be understated. 30 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. She's shooting like insane 57% from the field, like 40% from 3. Like, Nikola Jokic, I think we can all agree, is the best player in the league. He has been doing it for multiple years. And sure, he's only won one championship. But so many times, it's not like he's a playoff choker like Joel Embiid. He got pushed to 7 games against the Wolves. And sure, Game 7 was a little bit disappointing. But still, you can't blame Jokic for that loss. But of course, this is a regular season award. But of course, we have to talk about just this narrative idea. Jokic has already won 3 MVPs in the last 4 years. The voters don't want to give it to him again, unless he's having an insane season, which he is having an insane season. But this idea of a fresh, new guy, new kid in town, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with who also has these insane Michael Jordan-esque stats, Jokic is just kind of being pushed aside when he is, statistically, if you look on paper, is having a better season than Shai. We can agree on that, right? His impact, more impactful than Shai, but also, do you value Shai's ability to put a good team to a legit championship favorite, or Jokic's ability to make a bad team into a championship contender? There's levels to how you want their impact to be measured, and where their impact reaches is what separates them. But still, Jokic is just a monster, and we can't understate just how good of a season he is. Sure, he said that he thinks that he doesn't really care about the MVP award. I'm sure he doesn't, but the stats that he's putting up are absolutely crazy, and we just can't forget that. It's honestly such a close race, and I want to give it to Jokic so bad. Like 30-20-20, leading this Nuggets team that doesn't deserve to be a top 3 seed in the Loaded West. But I just think that it's going to go to Shai, which is nothing wrong. Shai's having a fabulous season, and the Thunder are probably the championship favorites to come out of the West. Okay, we'll see about overall, but Shai is just having such a good season. Also, that 5-game stretch that Nikola Jokic missed. Shai has now played 8 more games than Jokic, which definitely plays a role. Like, those small games where Shai's putting up 50 while Jokic is like on the bench, that may swing that tide. This race is so close that every small ounce that can favor one player is going to make the literal difference. So, in my opinion, I want to give it to Jokic so badly. Like, he's leading this team to insane numbers, but I think it's gonna go to Shai. If I was a voter, I think, oh man, that's close. But I think I would also give it to Shai. Just like, yes, I know you guys might like kill me in the comments, but just Shai is just, when I watch him play, you can see just, okay, both the eye tests are, you can tell they're the top 2 players in the league, but still, watching how smooth he is, how he can get a bucket, and then how good this Thunder team is, he has the wins, he has the narrative, he has the stats, he has everything. He's checked off everything you need to be an MVP candidate. And sure, Nikola Jokic has double checkmarked in several other categories, but hasn't really filled, of course, that winning, which of course isn't his fault. But still, I think it's going to go to Shai. These last 7 games are going to be kind of, if the Thunder can win 70 games, that would be actually crazy, bro. If the Thunder can win 70 games with the youngest team in the league, like, give the Thunder their props. I think Shai's going to win it, but it would be an absolute travesty still to see these numbers. Almost a 29-point triple-double, not winning MVP, is actually absurd. But when you look at how good of a season Shai is, man, it's going to be a tough race. So comment down below what you guys think. Who do you think will win the MVP? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.